once again, welcome forward to Reasons Right Here at the Trail Life. I'm your host, the Great Owl, in the presence of my co-host, Ramon Singh. Perfect love. Perfect love. Brother Singh, we're on this wonderful series of looking at the divine attributes of love as they manifest to us in behaviors. And, so far we've looked at, patience in love and kindness in love. And because, those come together to bring a picture of the image of the experience of love closer to us, the only next good thing to do was to advance it and show the depths of love, but looking at what it is not. Because we're looking at what it is. So we're going to look at what it's not. And love is not envious. And this distinction is very important. Positive truth, what it is, positive affirmation, what it is. Negative truth, what you should not do, what it is not. So, love is not envious. Now, first of all, if you have been having experiences where you find that people have been, negative or, very envious towards you in terms of how they deal with you in opportunities, how they deal with you with the outcomes you've gained from opportunities, it is easy to spot that that person isn't a loving person. Case in point, if somebody would say, well, he's an upstanding member of the community or of the clergy or of the business network or business society. But at the same time, you realize that all your opportunities are being blocked by this individual. Is this individual a loving person? This individual couldn't be a loving person. If this individual is creating roadblocks and throwing all these snares in your way because of whatever prejudice or whatever state of consciousness they might be having, it is clear to define that that person, filled with envy, filled with grudge, is definitely not a loving person, because who would expect that of even filial love? Who would even expect that even of the most simplest of platonic loves? Who would expect that? No one expects deceit, condescension, or any form of negativity, right? Or envious, jealous, selfish behavior as an expression of love. So love is definitely not boastful, it is not jealous, but it is certainly not envious. It is not plotting and scheming to take you down. So that loving person in appearance will be proven to be loving if the experience around that person isn't prideful, isn't boastful, and certainly isn't envious. Now, if you're finding that there's a lot of judgments about what you're doing, who you are, how you are, and where you are in your life around a certain individual, where you are met with sarcasm, cynicism before you are met with support or even surprise, that is indicating that there ain't no love there. Brother Singh.
Yeah, man, love does not envy. You don't know it's an action, It's a doing. Love does not envy, To be envious of someone is to desire and want, You desire and want the things that that person has, It's not even to say you admire the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be the best thing to do, is to admire that person.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a person who is godly, if we say, because you can admire wrong people.
Which is true.
But instead of wanting what that person has and a sense of bad mind,
Mm-hmm.
Them come around you. You have some people, them see your success and them see your fame,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just bad mind and negative energy when you come around them.
Bukure.
You'll never see a smile from them.
Yes, You know that vibe there.
Yeah, man, are just negative energy and them just think bad things about you, you know? They're happy when bad things happen to you. You see me? They're happy when you fail.
When things don't work
You
out,
know? Them happy when you're injured. You know? That is a source of bad mind and envy and jealousy. Because jealousy is a branch of the same envy, you know.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Jealous of the person. You know? Which as followers of the Most High, who supposed to pre love, we supposed to project a sense of I am happy for you.
Absolutely.
You know? A sense of giving thanks for what happened for your brothers and sisters. You know? A sense of gratitude for what you have for yourself. You know? When you give thanks for what you have, you know, that is when more will come.
True
But
that.
because we don't give thanks for what we have, and always envious and a bad mind others, and I say, how that person have that and I don't have this, you know?
True that.
Other than you have so much more than what others have too.
I'm not
You
even
see me?
noticing that, eh?
So we have to give thanks for the little that we have. So when more do come, we are going to appreciate the more. But how life work, how the Most High work, if you don't have gratitude in your heart, giving thanks, you won't appreciate.
It's like without that sense of seeing the value and respecting the value, then the value becomes devalued. So if you don't respect what goodness brings, what patience brings, what kindness brings, then you're gonna be envious, you're gonna be jealous, you're gonna be covetous and selfish. You have to respect the good things that love brings. And love brings temperance and good spiritedness, right? Where you can work together in cooperation instead of contention and trying to be dominant and who is to lead and who is to be in charge, right? That's a big concern with people that causes envy, especially amongst organized groupings where, you know, people just want to be the leader, they want to be the head, and they say they don't want to be the tail. But what comes out of the tail has to come out of the tail if what is going in the mouth is going in the mouth. So something has to be the tail. But the essence of it is everybody's trying to be the head. And if you have a creature around with pure head and no ass, then it's art in the head, right? That's what it is. So we have to realize that this envious style and selfish and covetousness that is born from competitive or just pure, what we call comparison, but bad comparison, because you're just comparing because you want to have more attention, or more fame, or more praise. And so even if you're doing good things at times and it's not coming from the right place, you know, it's not going to get that respect. So a person is doing it like the widow's two mite, and she's going to get more, you know, acclamation and respect over time, and her story is going to be mentioned and not the guy who gave the large amount of money. So it's like people are in these groupings and they see that, you know, there are many people who are here which they feel is not on the same level as they do, but these people have received and garnered great honor and love from others, and they can see why are those people being treated so respectfully. In my moment, this is my moment, this conference is about me, all this is about what I've done, and in that moment, all that you revere is giving homage and respect to someone you call a nobody, and you're wondering why. But as we examine, we say, well, that person was cooperative. That person actually worked together with others, giving of themselves selflessly, generously to something more than what would have benefited them. That person is a liaison. That person is a go-between because that person is a mediator. So these fruits of the Spirit benefiting so much people, garnering true love. and respect, you know, through not being envious or jealous of your peers. But here is one that feels the praise should be theirs, that all the honor should be theirs, and envy is growing green in them. So that sense of living in that, oh, comparison, like, oh, I should be getting more and I should be this, watch those behaviors. At the point you are now, you might be like, I'm not that green with envy that I am going to feel angry if someone shows someone I think is beneath me more attention than I do. You might say so, but if that moment was something important or a moment important to you, I would reconsider your answer. Hallelujah. Because I know you wouldn't take it nice. And I've been the opposite. I've been the person who was not supposed to be in that moment and was garnering, hallelujah, the honor and the respect of esteemed people. And the person and persons who thought they should have gotten it was just pissing, fitting mad. The envy just taking hold of their soul. So be very careful that you're not going down that path and comparing everything that's happening in your life to everything that's happening in your friend's life and talking about, well, he's doing this, so why am I not doing this? Or she's achieving this, so why am I not achieving this? Be careful of those comparative analyses. It's not that good because it's going to make you vain and bitter and envious. Brother Singh.
Yeah, man, and if you think really good, you see me, you realize that certain envious thoughts pop up in the mind at times, you see me? Especially like, me recall, me see a young youth, probably about just touch 18, have this pretty BMW I drive up and down, brand new BMW, you know? And as a youth, you just see him and say, you a walk foot.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him and say, it's like you said, this little boy don't deserve that car.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Understand the
And
state.
you know, why him have something like that, and you know? And then you start say life no fear, God no fear, and start blame the world, and you hate this person, you hate the man, you know? And this man don't do you nothing, him never see you before, but you have hate in your heart for this person, and envy, and bad mind, and say, me if you have that car, not that little boy that is driving reckless and doing foolishness on the road.
I could be doing better with that car. I could be
Yeah.
serving a purpose with that car.
Yeah, and I say he don't deserve it. You know, we not celebrate him, you know. We don't even know the man, you know.
Yes.
But envy a pop up in our mind. You know, why this scammer have this big old pretty Mark X a drive up and down? This little boy, you know? And big people who have worked for years. I see this little boy and say, you don't deserve that, you know. You thief people money. And you drive pretty car and you buy expensive things. And what? Christian people harbor envy and bad mind and bad thoughts against random people on the road. Them not even see you.
Yeah, they don't know. It's just an assumption.
Yeah. I just go on in the thought life and your heart. God know your heart, you know. Every time this person come around, you see them. You are harbor evil thoughts and your face, no smile will appear upon that face.
It's a permanent screw.
Yeah, man, because you so vexed with that person. The person don't do anything, you know. Bad mind and jealousy.
Just can't stand to see the other person with
The young
something.
youth with the trust fund, you know.
Yes.
But what God say? God said, the rich man, in order for a rich man reach to heaven, it is like for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. That is in order for a rich man go heaven, basically impossible.
Well, next to impossible.
Yeah.
Because, all right, so let me explain that statement, because the eye of a needle is a turnstile gate. So it was an ancient turnstile gate as how you would control the movement of people and their goods into your city. So if the camel was filled with load, he couldn't go through that turnstile unless his burden was released, unless the load was taken off.
Okay,
And
true.
so then it will be easier now for him. So
Okay.
the burdens of life or the material things we accumulate, that it clouds our vision from the spiritual meaning of life, which is the gift of God. If man don't put down that burden, it is hard for them to enter into the kingdom, which is a blissful state of being.
True.
And
Because him did tell the man, say, the man who they originally asked the question, the rich man, but to live a good life, and a godly life. And he said, what can I do to enter the kingdom? And Christ said, you have to give away all your possessions to the poor and the needy and come and follow me.
Yes. Hey.
Remember I said Christ turned with people from becoming his disciples, But Christ actually said, give this man a chance to be one of his disciples.
Because him fervently searched him out and say he has done all of the rituals and the rites and have basically been a pious citizen. So in terms of the mind of the wealthy, they think differently, in delineation about how they think about things. And so in what is scripted as piousness, he's fulfilled the law. But remember that it is a law that is above just what was there in tradition. It was compassion, it was love, it was something that creates a greater response, an unconditional love, which was what would have been shown if he was willing to give up in possession. But it showed how much his identity, just like the wealthy, how much their identity is wrapped up in what they possess. And the same thing about being possessed, it means that something external from yourself is having control in you.
True.
So isn't it interesting that wealth and thing is called possession?
Possession.
Right? So it's
Yes,
like being
sir.
possessed, so that's why you have to take down the burdens before you can enter into the kingdom, which is the blissful and harmonious state while you're still here. And the essence of why envy robs people of that is that envy is fixing people's eyes on the things which are decaying, which we call the temporal things, the transient things, the things that will become rust and metal and dust and biological mass. Again, that's what we're focusing on, the car, the this, the that. And no one is putting down the value of what a vehicle is, because we know what purpose and use can be. But we're talking about just like with the burdens, you are so identified with a BMW and you don't know how much it costs to maintain a BMW or what the state of mind is about having a BMW, right? Because it might just not be the state of mind of just thinking you look good in a car. It might just be the state of mind of, the trust fund, or it might just be a state of mind of, I actually created an app that has made me disposed and transposed to millions of dollars, right? And somebody who's wealthy isn't just transposed to be the personality of what is presented on the box of what wealth looks like, right? So judgment again creates not end results that are good. So envy is something starts from ignorance and what we call comparative analysis, but it's a vainness comes from it, because I think St. Augustine in Desiderata said, never compare yourself to others, because it will make you either say, others are better than you, or you are worse than them, or you are better than them, and it make you vain and ignorant, because what's going to happen is that you're going to devalue yourself or overvalue yourself and devalue another, and that will ultimately make an imbalance because you're focusing on the wrong thing. For those of you going through that comparative analysis, comparing yourself to others and then ending up being vain or thinking that you are more or less than they are, you can ultimately see how your blood pressure rises each time they have done something. So you're not living your life squarely in your own mind and body. You're living it disjointed and fragmented into many other people's realities. Like you're over there being concerned with keeping up with the Joneses. So you have the psychological burdens of holding the Joneses' wealth projections in your head and in your being, and also the Smiths' wealth projection, because the Smiths are coming up a little too fast for you to handle as well. And so this kind of a imbalance of this kind of a pressure and oppression that comes with that sense of oh, I am measured by what I have, or where I am in what I have and how it relates to the people around me. Does it make me powerful? I might have 3 expensive cars, but when I drive into my workspace, the guy who cleans the gutters, every morning say, morning, Mr. Smith, morning, Mr. Morgan, morning, Miss Allen, right? With absolute love and joy. And when you roll in with actually the most expensive car on the lot, they look at you and they go like this. Tom, oh yeah, let's, oh yeah, because I got some stuff to do. Okay, let's go, guys. And when you're walking down the aisle, they were like, oh my God, we had the time of our life. And you're wondering, what's happening? Because you're not harmonized with what is going on in life. Competitive mindsets make us jealous, make us envy, make us look at people as the competition. That is in business module as the MBA programs are. Yeah, it's like a West Point, a military training. Yeah, they teach people to look at their fellow co-workers in the context of, hey, this is a survival game. The more clients I can win, the more results I can yield from my intelligence, the more respect, the bigger my position, the higher my status. And these things are just natural acumens of the design society. However, we are saying a lot of these things are the reason why envy is so much sown into your behaviors and the behaviors of others who are observing you. Because number one, you are carrying out an envious behavior and you're inspiring envy in others because you're not inspiring a difference. Because if you were, you would have been sharing it. You would have been in the communities. You would have been out there with the other qualities of love, advancing whatever is that community mandate you would have taken onto yourself, the mission statement you would have so nicely claimed at the door over your workspace of what your mantra is to your community, to your nation, to your creator. You would be out there fulfilling it. So that loving, kind, generous, patient, non-boastful, not envious spirit, if it was in an individual, if it is in an individual, we guarantee you, you're going to see and experience respect, honor, tolerance, forgiveness, and a sense of brother and sisterly acceptance and love. Brother Singh.
Yeah, man, as it's love does not envy, so basically it is saying love is happy for others and love is being grateful for what you have and being thankful, So that is the function of what basically love does not envy is saying, the
Well
function
put.
of it,
Well put, yes.
Give thanks for others when them get them blessing. Them work for it. God know so them they need it. Remember, God know what you need, what you're in need of.
Every time.
Long before you even ask him know. You see me? So the people them who get them things and them blessings, just give thanks to them, And the super wealthy in the earth. Remember I said they are the seed of Satan. And them not go even smell heaven.
Yeah.
You see me? Or them not go see after judgment day.
So we are saying they don't count. That's what we are saying.
Yeah, we not fi envy them.
Yeah, we are saying.
And so why
they
the
don't count.
1% are so wealthy and
Yeah.
these trust funds, babies and
Forget about it.
and they have all the knowledge and we envy them for the knowledge. No.
I mean, Sasa, I appreciate it for being my friend, because, yeah, why take onto yourself these trivialities? Like, we know the 1%, the Edomite, the Esau bloodline, right? And we knew why they are there, how they were going to get there, and the fact that they are there. And the fact that just like how the sun, moon, and star obeys a law, there's a law of reason as to why they are there. And that reason will not come to its judgment until judgment day, as to why some people advance by warfare, trickery, and deceit, and why some people are the children of the deceivers and the liars from the day of creation, right? Upon understanding this and accepting why it is that Jacob suffers so much, why it is that Israel suffers so much, why is it our children suffer so much, why is it that we have no opportunities in the true fairness, we'll understand the burden of Adam and Eve, understand the burdens of our foreparents, understand the burdens of the gift of God and the cursing of the Most High upon these generations. So their super wealthy status will not give them pass keys or password into the kingdom of heaven. Neither can underground bunkers and these stellar parlors of reinforced concrete and steel save them, Haba, from judgment. Not Nimrod, nor no Cushite, nor any fallen wife of Lot, or any salt pillar of judgment can stop them from face their judgment in this time. So they do not count. What happens is that we must never envy the oppressor and choose any of his ways. And don't take it like some religious statement, because it's reality. It's the truth. You should never do that. It is the worst principle you could ever have. The truth alone takes care of those. If you are not boastful, you're not envious, you're not jealous, you're not shameful and disingenuous, you will be gifted and blessed. That's exactly what I am saying. Same thing Brother Singh is saying. We can quote every word of scripture. It will not change your behavior, but it will not make what we are saying untrue. True word. It will not change what we're saying and will not make it untrue. Because the fact of the matter is the principles are the principles, right? Love is not envious, it's not jealous, it's not boastful. So, towards greater understanding, you would humble yourself without making yourself feel abused. Because if you had a calm and loving state of mind, you wouldn't feel abused. You would feel at peace being in a lowly seat as you would feel being in a heightened seat. So, because we don't want to take on to ourselves the curses of those who went up into the heightened seat and then was abased because they were told, get out. You rejected because you exalt yourself and then you became abased. Let us be as the humble, the simple, and the so-called lowly, the old-time religion that was sitting at the foot of the cross, at the feet of the great teacher, the great Rabboni, and the great Rabbini, the great Rebbe, and learned humility and true spirit of temperance and love and kindness and respect, and that will bring the kind of life you desire, because it has to match. If you want a life that is loving, radiant, and filled with good opportunities, you're going to have to constantly allow for that radiant light to change behaviors, to direct behaviors, to create behaviors, to organize behaviors towards being more respectful, sharing, and forgiving and tolerant. And when you made a mistake, fess up and admit it, because it will clear the air and give a sense of honesty and continuity to the experience, right? We do want the benefit, the seed of Adam, the seed of Israel, right? We do want the benefit of our Father's kingdom, right? Which is to replenish, multiply, replenish, clear, maintain this beautiful plane. As long as we are here, that good virtue that's in us, which is the spirit, the fruits of the spirit, it will teach us these temperances. It will teach us to not be envious of another person's success. It will teach us to be supportive, because if you put something in, you gain something out. So today you're supporting Jane's idea. Tomorrow Jane's ideas is supporting your life. And that's how things are, brother. And I've been here not just as a social scientist, but as a man of faith long enough to understand that life is a cycle. And if you spit in the water here, drop a stone in the water here, that muddy, cloudy mess that's coming down below you is as a direct result of what happened right above you. So keep that free, clear waterway. Keep that non-jealous, non-biased, non-envious spirit alive. Love will have a place inside of you as you to take form, and that grotesque, ugly feeling of lack of value, lack of worth will disappear. It will recede. It will remove itself, and then hospitality will start to grow. Deference will grow. Kindness, you'll share more, right? You'll be happy when you hear say, you know, a person made it out of the ghetto. One of the crab jump out of the barrel, man. Big celebration, man.
True.
You understand me? Even bigger if that crab come and give a hand to help one of the next crab to jump out. That's respect even more if you did that. So for those supporting small ventures and entrepreneurship and mentorship within their communities and within their ethnic groups, we give thanks. Because that means that you're envious. You're using and sharing that power that God has gifted you with to benefit others. Brother.
Yeah, mama, like you said that the crab in a barrel. So we Jamaicans would have explained that envy, that evil spirit of jealousy, you know, bad mind, you know.
Real.
Yeah, the crab in a barrel. And what? We have to Lego them thoughts there. You know, because as we say, a cultural teachings.
Yes.
You know, that's why we say we Jamaicans, because
Yeah.
what? It's our Jamaican habit to think certain things and act certain ways and not be grateful for others and them blessing. But as we say, see the man roll up in a pretty car with big flashy rims and with the prettiest of females, you know. And they must say, oh, this ugly man have this girl, man, you know. The my girl that, you know. And I see him, the girl, I look and I say, look on this other girl.
But this pretty girl is an ugly man, yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and whole heap of sus and a talk and gossip and envy, you know.
True that.
We have to stop them habits, them man. And when we see others with things, if we say, boy, God bless them with things, you know. Or it can be the devil bless them with things too, you know. But who if we say, just give thanks for what you have and know your dreams.
Yes.
You cannot dream small and expecting big results. You have to dream big if you want big results in your life. You see me?
True that. And put in the big work.
And put in the work, got the goals, and forget this to success. You see me? You have steps to take in order to achieve certain things. And you have to just do them one by one and go where you need to go. You know? But if, as you say, you can be a little janitor and want to drive a BMW. And when you see the people driving the BMW, you envy them or tell them that them don't deserve it. While all in your mind is to be a janitor. I never move from that. But if you have in your mind and say, you know what? I'm going to own a janitor company. I'm going to hire hundreds of people.
Yes.
Then he will be able to go buy the BMW.
And buy several if you want.
Yeah.
Expand your vision.
Yeah. Him have BMWs for employee drive, you know?
Yes.
Adjust the mind and what you think.
Just like that.
A little janitor can't say he want BMW. The most him can get is a little old beat up car.
I can get a nice second-hand module.
Yeah, a nice second hand, you know,
Yeah.
old car, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's the reality of that situation. Him will never ever get a brand new BMW and be able to maintain it.
Yeah, we know that. It's just like when we're talking honestly and fairly. And you know, when sometimes other people can't handle it, I tell you all the time, you know, that they talk certain way and people's mindset, they just think one thing. But when you talk, some people say you're limiting people. You see, that is what we say improper calculation. A person, right? You're making 7,000 Jamaican dollars a week or 10,000 Jamaican dollars a week. The average part for a brand new BMW is about 5 to 16,000 US dollars for small components on the car. That is the price range. So when a person is sitting there saying, oh, what is he or she doing, when the actuality of life is, how can you know if you're not within the person's company? And then if you know, what does that mean? Like Ramon said, what if it's the devil has blessed them? What if it's some evil scheme? What are you going to do then? Are you going to feel that, okay, so you can steal from them and it's okay, right? So there's no consequences because the cops, if the cops were to know, that's illegal. So a lot of people love to say they're stealing from thieves and God laugh. No, you just incur a karma upon yourself, because that same envious behavior is going to circle around and you're not going to be satisfied, because everything we engage in spiritually grows. It grows. So you have people out there thinking life is a perception because they got programmed into watching the movies showing you how men with cars or women with beauty or people with intelligence are supposed to be treated. Haven't you seen it? Haven't you heard? She's too beautiful to walk to the store and buy something for herself. Didn't you know this? He is way too strong to actually go down the road and pick up a sack of cement for his uncle's home. He's too strong to do it. This is how we are as beings. And because she's too beautiful to go walk down the street and get something for her own well-being and her own health, that principle will multiply and continue in her life. And that is why when others have worked hard and have found the blessings of God, that is why she's envious. That is why she's talking about how could this beautiful woman be with that ugly man, where she's stating on her principle, and her principle isn't even a principle, it's beauty without worth she's talking about. Pride and ego she's talking about. Him who is too proud to use his strength to help anyone else will be angered when his uncle's home is finished, and all the wonderful people who are coming to dine and share in the goodness of his uncle's favor. This is the behaviors we carry. So if we do not check these behaviors, there's absolutely no way, by principle, any of us are going to be happy with the outcome of others. You can check it all you want. That's what's going to happen. And so this improper calculation of thinking that you deserve something because you felt that you are obviously more than this little dumbass. You can't put two words together. I'm so smart, so yeah, why is he driving that? Yeah, but do you know who he is? Do you know what he has been to others who value what he has been, to remunerate it, to make sure that he is taken care of? Because who he or she is to them is of innumerable, immeasurable value. The most valuable things have no price on them because they are principles perfected, like truly being generous, truly being kind, truly being respectful, truly being appreciative and equal of another person's success as you are of your own. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Brother Singh.
Yeah, man, and if we can more to admire, and say, wow, that person achieved this great thing, we admire them now and question them and say, sir, ma'am, how you achieve this, because to admire somebody, and because me have a brethren, him see somebody wealthy. This is from high school days, And him go to the person and say, man, what kind of job you have? What you do to achieve these things? And the person say, I'm a real estate agent. I own properties. I sell properties. I get commissions, I have my own real estate business. And him say, oh, thank you. After that, I want to be a real estate agent. You see me? And then own my own real estate company. That is my brethren dream now, and him halfway there. He's a real estate agent now.
Yes.
He has sold many houses,
Yes.
and him getting big commissions, and him getting vehicle, and him is going up, because that is his dream.
Yes.
Him admire the person and them life,
Yes.
and say, man, So in order for me achieve something like that, all I have to do is be a real estate agent. So him go do it, you know? So we have to wise in the earth and can do fool things in the earth in terms of say, if you want to achieve big things, you want a 3-story house. And you want 2 vehicles, one for you and your wife, you know? You cannot think small. And that small thinking will never achieve those big dreams.
Absolutely.
You see me?
I'm with you
But
on
it
that.
starts with a dream, you know.
Yes.
It starts with wanting and desire.
Yes.
And that's why we should not want and desire people's things
Yes.
that are envy.
Exactly.
But want and desire things for yourself and give thanks for what you have.
Absolutely. You can't say that enough, the giving thanks for what you have, because it makes you appreciate, right? And so appreciation is what fulfills the whole exchange between thinking about what you desire and then going out and putting in the effort, the work, save, you know. Don't spend all your money on useless pursuit, and your useless pursuit that fills fears in yourself, anxiety, you make you eat too much, and you have some sexual issues, you're buying all these hoes and all these things that you're spending on all these girls that truly don't deserve that you be spending all this money on them because they're not into you and you really don't know what commitment is, and so you're wasting your money on all these things. Save your money, men and women. Save your money, put your thoughts and your resources together in your ventures. Test your ventures out by first being proficient or competent in the areas of interest. If you're an artist, work on your craft. But talent alone won't get you there, because there are many talented people. There must be something about your talent which touches people's heart. Usually it's your personality, what you're offering. Usually when it's a product and a service, it is your understanding, a desire you have inside of you, maybe because of your faith in God, that you realize something is deficient in the lives of others. So when you think about a product, when you think about a service, it is coming from a specific place, a specific desire. It has a theme with it, something that cannot easily be replicated by someone else because they are not you. They do not have your feelings, your thoughts, your impulses, or your way of looking at your faith. So therefore, they cannot take that from you. This is the way to develop all these ideas towards values, to kill the nerve and the compunction towards envy, because you're too busy figuring out how it is you're going to get your little bulla cake business, your little greater cake business, to a corporation stage where you are shipping to several locations across the world. It is a mathematical calculation. They always say everything starts with a seed, which is the idea and the spirit and the energy of the idea. If it's good, good will support it, it will support good, and it will be able to grow and expand. So today, you're selling your greater cakes out of a push cart near a supermarket or a restaurant or a major thoroughfare. 5 years down the road, you are driving and selling your wares from the back of a multi-facility truck that has many compartments and it's probably being customized to your need. 10 years down the road, you have several trucks, several storefronts, several factories that produce your product. 20 years down the road, when your children are grown and in the process of taking the business to our next level, you are now in 80 countries and you're diversified to 40 different products that is indigenous and specific to your idea. But how in God's name do you think you're going to get from point A to point Z, which is the highest on the spectrum, or whichever way you want to get from Z to A, whichever way? How are you going to get there without going along the path of B, C, D, W, X, or X, W, Y, going up? How are you going to, all those steps are important. And that's what breaks down envy, when you recognize input into outcomes. That's what breaks envy down. Self-worth and value, and stop comparing yourself or measuring yourself or looking at yourself as the standard set, when the standards are set by people that is not you, that do not come from your culture, come from your understanding, and they're presented as superficial, abstracted idea of what a man is and a woman is. It has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your culture. So why are you destroying the ways in which your families, your nations taught value? Why is it you taught that virtue is not valuable? Why is it that principles aren't valued, when the principles is what gives heft to anything. The principle is the recurrent thing that is the easiest to take onto yourself, but has the greatest yield result. Faith, like the mustard seed, it's the yeast. It causes the rising, right? And it is the simplest agent in all of it. And if you put enough of it in, you'll have value, quality to your results. That will destroy envy. Be a human being of purpose, hallelujah. Be a human being of self-worth and value. Brother Singh, before we segment out of here.
Yeah, man, just that, you know. One of the major aspects of love, one of the major practice of love is not to envy. You know, we should be grateful for others and them blessings and giving thanks for what we have. You know?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Love is not envious. It is not prideful. It's definitely not boastful. But it is kind. It is gentle. It is patient. And it is respectful and resourceful. So until next time, this has been the Great Owl in the presence of my co-host, Brother Ramon Singh, right here. Reasonings, yeah, at the Tree of Life on Seala Media, here on YouTube. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to the Tree of Life experience. Continue to support the Wizio/Tree of Life television network, many healing and therapy sessions, and the way to find the divine light within. Continue to support the Patreon store so we can keep the processes of these videos going and ourselves oriented towards the and the ultimate process of success and well-being in the faith and in the spirit of the Mashiach. Perfect love. Perfect love. A faithful love is one who shows concern. A patient love is the one who shows concern. To live your life and learn. A faithful love is the one who shows concern. A patient love is the one who shows concern. Yes, showing concern in the patience and the goodness of love.